Most people think loan problems only come from wrong decisions made upfront. In reality, they usually come from small things that quietly compound over time. If you already had a loan, I'll be paying close attention to these things. And that's what this video is really about. When people talk about debts, the focus is often on repayments, interest rates, or budgets. But there are also a few common mistakes that show up later for some people when awareness fades. And those are the mistakes I want to walk through here. The first mistake is pretending that the loan doesn't exist. One mistake I would try to avoid is treating the loan as something I don't need to look at. Not opening statements, not checking in at all, just assuming it will take care of itself. That kind of avoidance does not usually remove pressure. It tends to just push it further down the track. Another mistake I would try to avoid is not understanding what I agreed to in the first place. Things like how repayments work, how they are structured, what fees exist, and how long the commitment actually runs for. I would not want to memorize it, but just understanding the basics well enough that nothing feels surprising later. And the third mistake is only thinking short term. If you already had a loan, I would try to avoid thinking only month to month. Loans often last years, and over time they can quietly influence future choices if you are not aware of them. That longer term awareness tends to change how commitment feels, even when everything is technically going fine. And this is usually the point where people realize the loan itself isn't the issue. It's how invisible it's become in everyday life. The fourth mistake is assuming life will stay the same. And this is another mistake I would try to avoid, assuming circumstances will never change. Income can change. Health can change. Priorities can change. That's just how life is. But there are consumer protection laws and processes designed to exist when situations shift. And understanding that earlier tends to reduce panic or fear, even if nothing ever goes wrong. The fifth mistake is feeling ashamed, and that's one pattern I've noticed. People feeling ashamed about having a loan, not because borrowing is unusual, but because it can feel personal or isolating when things become harder or tougher to talk about. Borrowing itself is common, regulated, and part of modern financial life. Understanding that support frameworks exist can reduce the sense of shame and isolation. And shame often adds much to weight on long-term commitments than even the loan itself. For me, avoiding these mistakes is about staying in control of your debt. Being grounded in your decisions, not being reactive. And that usually makes long commitments feel more manageable over time. And just a quick note, this is general information, not personal financial advice. So those are some of the mistakes I would personally try to avoid if you already had a loan. Just reflections shaped by awareness and responsibility. If you value experience-based explanations that unpack how credit actually works without fear or judgment, you are welcome to subscribe for more educational content like this. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.